Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. There's another paid request. This time is from Sherlock. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics or commentaries or reviews, what have you, feel free to send me either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below. I'm discombobulated because I sound defeated. I sound defeated because I watch a movie like this and I go, Ridley Scott, who the hell are you, man? Who the hell are you? You used to be a director worth a spit. Alien, Blade Runner, Black Rain. I liked G.I. Jane. I did not mind the film you did well before that called The Duelist. But then Prometheus and even worse Alien Covenant, this movie, what the hell happened to you? There's a couple Ridley Scott films I enjoy that I've said, but Tony Scott, your brother, was the better director with the better track record. I think this is one of the films that Ridley Scott, in remembrance for Tony Scott, like that was featured. That's an insult. I'm sorry, Ridley. That's an insult because this movie is an insufferably bad film. It's boring. It's long. It's 2 hours and 17 fucking minutes. 2 hours and 17 fucking minutes. You have a cast that includes Michael Fassbender, Diaz, Brad Pitt, Javier Bardem from No Country for Old Men and Fall, Penélope Cruz, John Leguizamo has a bit part, Ruben Blades from Predator 2, he has a bit part, Rosie Perez from all the way back to White Men Can't Jump, she has a small part. And this is a movie that feels like it's pointless. It feels like it takes forever to go nowhere. It gets so talky and so pretentious in its talk, and it thinks it's some Greek tragedy play. It's a grim movie, very grim, bleak, depressing, downbeat, and this is not my cup of tea. This is not my kind of movie. I don't know whose movie this is. Who is this for? It doesn't say anything about the human element. It doesn't say anything about drug trafficking that you haven't seen plenty of times. It's barely a fucking story. I don't care if it's based on a book. Must have been a shitty book then. So the plot, if I could call that, Michael Fassbender is a lawyer. Ultimately, he gets involved with this deal, some drug trafficking. He gets together with a buddy of his, played by Javier Bardem. Javier Bardem's gal is played by Diaz, who is a steaming two-faced bitch. Spoiler alert, she's really the villain and she gets away with everything. Michael Fassbender's with Penelope Cruz, and the first 6 minutes is them in bed and Michael Fassbender trying to go down on her and then fingering Penelope Cruz. And her talking throughout the whole damn thing. How do you make a scene of a woman being fingered unsexy? Talk through the whole fucking thing. Are you wet? Yes. Oh, you really are. And dialogue, like Karen Diaz at one point says, I think truth has no temperature. Because she says something and someone goes, oh, that was really cold of you. As in, that was, you said a cold, harsh truth, you were being callous. And Cameron Diaz's response is literally, I think truth has no temperature. Give me a fucking break, man. Give me a fucking break. And these overlong. That's why the movie is over 2 hours long. 2 hours and 17 minutes, in fact. Just people just go on and on and on about nothing. Or about stuff that they think is self-important. And it just comes off as pretentious garbage. Michael Fassbender goes to talk to this guy in Amsterdam about diamonds because he wants to buy Penélope Cruz a diamond. But then the diamond guy's talking about Judaism and about culture. And the last known culture was the Greeks. And there's no culture after that. And the heart of any culture is to be found in the nature of the hero. A man who's revered. And blah, 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 blah. I don't give a fuck. It's boring. It's pretentious. It doesn't really delve anything deep about the actual characters. It doesn't really delve any deep thoughts about the story or about the horror of drug trafficking or anything in the sort. It just doesn't. And Michael Fassbender tossed to Javier Bardem, are you sure you want to be involved with this? Talky conversations that go on and on and on. That you sniff out the moral dilemma, the paradox. No one talks like this. And you can have movies where people don't talk like they do in the real world, but make it interesting. Make us give a fuck. Give a fuckitis. Inject some give a fuckitis into us. Please. So in order to do the deal, Michael Fassbender meets Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt is an associate of Javier Bardem. Brad Pitt, he's trying, but he's having nothing to work with. Pretty much he's just warning how dangerous the cartels are. Even at a point they make snuff films. Are you sure you want to do this? And Brad Pitt realizes that Michael Fassbender is really over his head, but Fassbender's like, no, it'll be okay. Javier Bardem says it's okay. Go along with the drug deal. Drug trafficking, I should say. So, in order to do it, gets the stuff. Rosie Perez, again from White Men Can't Jump. She was in that recent Birds of Prey Harley Quinn movie. She's in prison. So, he talks with her and says, okay, you can help my son out. Okay, I'm going to use your son for this job. Meanwhile, Cameron Diaz is fucking people over behind the scenes. She wants all the shit. Because she wants the money. So she sends other people to stop that guy. So then the people she sends rig this wire so that the Rosie Perez's son, the biker, is driving. There's a wire. Boop. Tops his head off. Decapitation. And then Cameron Diaz's people grab the I forget the drugs. They grab the shit, the good shit. But the cartel, they think Michael Fassbender had something to do with it. You fucked up. And also, that biker, who's the son of Rosie Perez, also just happened to be part of the fucking cartel as well. What a coinky dink. What a coincidence. And even when the guy gets his head cut off, Rosie Perez in prison wakes up as if, what, is she psychic? She had a psychic connection? Like she psychically knew that her son died? Because then she has a look of horror on her face? I didn't know this psychic shit is in this too. It was Miss Cleo was here to talk me out of watching the fucking movie. So much for your psychic shit, Miss Cleo. So cartel members find Cameron Diaz's people, shoot them, they get the shit. Rosie Perez tosses the cartel. There's a hit on Michael Fassbender, but instead they kidnap Penélope Cruz. Meanwhile, Javier Bardem realizes something's been messed up. He just chased, he did shot and killed, shot in the head. Then we're like 20 minutes left of the movie. And yeah, that's literally all that's happened within the fucking movie. It's not a thriller. It's not an action film. What is it? What if you want to talk about drug trafficking, you don't watch the first Sicario. You don't watch any number of films dealing with that. Seriously. But I would say the last 20 minutes, then you have the buyer talking to some workers. And this seems like a random scene that if you cut out, would not affect the story. Because we've never seen these characters as of yet. And like I said, it's a 2 hour, 17-minute movie. There's like 20 minutes left of the movie. Workers including John Leguizamo, Luigi Mario from Super Mario Brothers. You have Dean Norris, who's a guy I've seen in quite a few films. He's a buyer. And they're discussing about how these barrels that someone stole from Charlie Sheen's men at work, bodies are put into there. You never mess with another man's french fries. Rather talk about that fucking movie. This is a fun movie. Very different movie, but they also have people and dead bodies and these big fat ass cans. And it's all intermixed with just pretentious dialogue. Wow, greed really takes you to the edge, doesn't it? That's not greed. Greed does... No. That's not what greed does. That's what greed is. I'm like, what? Oh, greed really... So greed takes you to the edge. No, greed doesn't take you to the edge. Greed is the edge. Yeah, I'd rather take a fucking razor's edge. Chico. Chicano. Throw a fucking toothpick into this movie's fucking eye. Even like the scene where Javier Bardem is talking to Michael Fassbender, tells a story about how Cameron Diaz fucked his car. And we see Cameron Diaz down on top of the windshield and fuck the car while Javier Bardem watches. Because so ultimately Michael Fassbender calls Ruben Blades, who's with the cartel, says, hey, let Penélope Cruz go. Take my life. No, you gotta learn. Goodbye. Sometime later, he receives a video disc. He doesn't watch it because he already knows that's probably a snuff film where his fiance's dead. And it's true. We don't see it, but the next shot we see is a body going to a landfill. Brad Pitt, he's somewhere else. Cameron Diaz, who has fucked over Michael Fassbender, fucked over everybody else, contacts someone so that they can put something around Brad Pitt's neck that tightens up, rips into his neck, blood sprays, and they take something from him. So Cameron Diaz wins, gets the money, does well, and gives some fucking dialogue about hunters and animals that get the game out in the fucking wild, whatever the fuck. I get it, you're a tough bitch, you kill people, you didn't give a shit. I don't care. Fuck you and fuck this movie. This movie is boring, it is slow, it is way overlawed, and it is fucking pointless, grim affair. I don't know what the fuck was the point of this film. Drug trafficking is bad. No shit. Again, there's nothing deep. There's nothing extravagant. There's nothing... The actors are wasted on trite material. What am I supposed to talk about with this movie? I'm already yawning while in the middle of reviewing this fucking film. This movie's so boring it makes me yawn during the review. So yeah, this movie is fucking not worth a shit. It's not worth a spit. If you love it, good on you. I just see why it got a lot of bad ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. Has like a 30-some%. Deserves that or lower. And no wonder this is like a Ridley Scott no one talks about. And this was done like 8 years ago. I hate this fucking film. It is one of the worst Ridley Scott films I have ever seen. Bar none. I mean, Alien Covenant is more distressing because it's part of a good franchise. Same with Prometheus. If you don't take that into play, the franchise aspect of it, this might be his worst film. Just a vacuous movie filled with a lot of hot, pretentious air. A lot of hot air with it. So, we'll see you guys later. Fuck this movie. Bye-bye.